Good evening and welcome to beautiful Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser here on the call. As the Palm Springs Power, they host the San Diego Yeti. As the Power, they're coming off of a 5-2 win against the Colton Nighthawks on Wednesday. And they look to continue that tonight against the Yeti, Evan.
Well, George, it's a really good thing. We're able to see the Power bounce back after having a 14-game win streak snap, trying to get a new one start at the end of the season. Maybe try and end the season on a 3-game win streak. It was really good to see the victory against the Colton Nighthawks just a couple of evenings ago. Carson Phillips was excellent on the mound. We got the timely hits when we needed them, and hope we see more of the same tonight, especially with Evan Shaw back on the mound.
So he'll be starting. Behind the plate for him will be Tyler Swan catching, Spencer Dickinson on first, Anthony Angel Jr. on second, Richie Amavisca at short, Efren Manzo on third, Joey Mazzetti over in left field, Isaiah Alvarez in center, and then Levi Hall in right field. So that's going to be the Power on the field tonight. And Joey Mazzetti, late addition to the lineup today, over in left field, a position we haven't really seen him in this season. We've seen him play over at third base. We've seen him as the pitcher, as the catcher, and now here we are seeing him over in left field. Of course, we see him as a designated hitter too.
Well, I tell you, George, that Joey Mazzetti really does do it all. He it's all sorts of different positions right there. He's got a big arm out there. He's a good athlete. I assume he'll cover just enough ground. I mean, I'm excited to see him out there. I'm sure he's excited to play left field.
So as we get set here, it's going to be Nick Roca going to lead things off for the Yeti in just a moment. Evan Shaw is getting his pitches down. Beautiful evening here at Palm Springs, California.
Yes, we're taking it all in the best we possibly can, George. 2 games to go starting right now. Jeez, did it go by quickly.
Yes, this season certainly did fly by. As the Power coming to the ballgame, 18-3 on the season. Looking to close out the next few games with a win. As Shaw gets set, the lefty. Here's the pitch. So that's going to get inside for strike one. Good slider there from Evan Shaw. So the 0-1. Here's a pitch, a little bit of shadows here. That's going to be down low, 1-1. Shadows covering the left side of the field. With Shaw, the 0 ERA on the season. That's going to get inside for strike two. Count now 1-2. He struck out 35 batters. Third most on the Power team. He's allowed 11 runs. For 0 earned runs. And then 19 hits as well. So that's going to be now 2-2 the count.
I think one of the biggest keys going into tonight, George, is going to be the defense. It was pretty good the other night against the Colton Nighthawks. Not so much on Tuesday night with the loss that snapped the 14-game winning streak. Evan Shaw has allowed 11 unearned runs throughout the season. Obviously not his fault, but especially with some position changes and other kind of younger guys who haven't played as much earlier in the season, that's something I'm really looking for tonight. Just strong defense. Make the plays that come at you.
Count is now full for Nick Roca. Shaw gets set lefty against the righty. Here's a 3-2. As that's going to be way inside, ball 4. So that's going to be the 11th batter that Evan Shaw has walked.
That's not a bad number by any means. 20 in the third innings, 11 walks. That's not the greatest, but not obviously far from the worst. He's a pretty good command throughout the entire season.
Ethan Cachetta stepping to the batter's box now with 1 runner on. As Shaw gets set. As here's the pitch. That's going to be getting away there from Tyler Swan, and then advancing over to second on the pass ball is Nick Roca.
Yeah, he got the strike call too on that pitch. You don't see that a whole lot with the ball clanks right off the catcher's glove and he actually still gets the strike call.
Looks like it just got off the edge of the glove there of Swan. Here's a pitch from Shaw. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. So 0-2 the count. So Roca over in scoring position on second. So Yeti looked to strike first here in the top of the first inning. The pitch. Ooh. Fastball, just hitting upstairs, so it's going to be 1-2.
Yeah, that was the right idea, man. That was a good-looking curveball.
So Shaw looking back over on second. Here's the 1-2. And there's a big swing and the miss there. And Cachetta goes down swinging.
Also, I think Cachetta was the beer batter tonight, George. So $2 draft beers for everybody for the next 10 minutes.
So it's going to be Taylor Moe. The lefty against the lefty here with 1 out, 1 runner on. Here's a pitch from Shaw. Popped up high into the air. Alvarez going to park underneath it as he's backstepping a little bit. And the throw over to the cutoff. What a great throw
Real
from
strong.
Isaiah Alvarez up to Amavisca. And that's going to hold Roca up on second with 2 outs.
Well, Isaiah Alvarez, he's been as solid and consistent as it gets all season, whether he's in center field or any of the other outfield positions. He did a great job getting behind that ball. He had a lot of time. The ball hung up there for a really long period of time. He got behind it, charged it. He had good momentum coming in and a really strong throw hitting the cutoff man. A lot of times he gets center fielders with really good arms. They want to show it off and they'll air it all the way to third base, even if the runner isn't going. Alvarez didn't try to do that. Just hit the cutoff man, no damage.
Here's the pitch from Shaw. As that is going to be fouled off. Because it looks like it sounded like it hit the bat of Elijah Lewis, who's now batting with 2 outs and 1 runner on.
Frankly, as far as throwing arms go, George, I'd love to see Mazzetti get a chance to try to throw somebody out. Big arm out there and left.
0-1 is the count for Evan Shaw, the starting pitcher for the Power. That pitch, that's going to get away. Looks like it just slipped out of the hand. But Swan able to corral it in front of him. Going to keep Roca on second. So Shaw up to 36 strikeouts on the season. So here's a pitch, and that's going to be just outside. 2-1 the count for Elijah Lewis. That looked really good to me, Evan.
It was a close pitch. It might have just looped the plate just a little bit, and like maybe Swan received it really nicely, letting the ball kind of come in closer, give it more time to break. But honestly, I think that was a good call by the home plate umpire.
Here's a 2-1. As that's going to be fouled off and caught by caught by Swan. So it's going to be 2-2 the count with 2 outs. 1 runner on for the San Diego Yeti here, top of the first inning. Nobody's scored yet.
Well, if you're Shaw right now, you got Lewis thinking all sorts of things. A couple of good curveballs on the outer half and a good fastball on the inner part right there. You could do a whole number of things to try to punch him out.
Shaw, here's the 2-2 kick. That's going to be blooped up over. And making the grab is Efren Manzo over on third. As that is going to be out number 3, leaving Roca the lone runner on. So that's going to retire the side. And we now go to the bottom half of the first inning. Isaiah Alvarez, Joey Mazzetti, Efren Manzo, 3 due up next for the Palm Springs Power when we return. So here we are back bottom of the first inning. Isaiah Alvarez leading things off for the Palm Springs Power. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Knotted up at 0. So it's going to be Alvarez, Mazzetti, Manzo.
It's a pretty good first 3 right there, George. Not going to lie.
Very solid with Isaiah Alvarez batting 195 and 644 OPS. A pitch there from Martinez upstairs, 1-0.
Frank, he's a guy, once he gets on base, though, 11 stolen bases. Only been caught once, leads the team in stolen bases. Love to see him get on and see him turn on the Jets.
He's a 400 on base percentage because he's been walked 12 times, hit by a pitch twice. So 2-0 is the count for Alvarez. So here's a pitch from Martinez. Going to be upstairs. 3-0 is the count for the leadoff hitter and center fielder for the Palm Springs Power.
You know, George, I know that none of these first 3 pitches have been really close at all for Martinez, but it seems like almost every walk that Alvarez has drawn, it's been a tough at bat. He doesn't go down easily on strikes, and he makes the pitcher work very hard.
So that's going to be a 3-1 count now for Alvarez. He's only struck out 9 times on the season.
But I know the batting average isn't quite there at the moment. Obviously,
but he
somewhat
gets on base.
Yeah, somewhat a little bit of sample size. Yes, he gets on base. He's a tough out, and especially a guy at the top of the order. He sees a lot of pitches. He'll give you an idea of what the pitcher's arsenal is going to be when he gets back to the dugout. And again, you say he gets on base, and he's a weapon once he gets on the bases.
Full count now for Alvarez. Martinez gets set, the righty pitcher for the San Diego Yeti. Here's a windup. It'll be slow roller up to Roca at short. He's going to scoop it off the one hop. Oof. The throw is in time for out number 1.
Alvarez is also the kind of guy, he smells a hit when he hits a ground ball. He almost made Roca the shortstop pay for taking an extra crow hop to throw him out.
So Brad brings up Joey Mazzetti in the 2-hole for the Palm Springs Power. Over in left field, a position we haven't seen him play this season. We've seen him play pretty much, it feels like, everywhere else. And here's a pitch from Martinez. That's going to be down low, 1-0. So Mazzetti, 314 batting average, 960 OPS. Very solid hitter for the Palm Springs Power. 16 hits to go along with 18 RBIs, which is a team high. Big swing and a miss there from Mazzetti. 1-1 is the count.
I almost want to see Mazzetti try to almost slow down his swing. I mean, his strikeouts have added up just a little bit over the past couple of games. He's seen a few more swings and misses from him. So I almost want to see him just try and hit a ball low and hard towards the middle of the field. Just try and make things a little simpler.
So 2-1 is the count from the pass ball there that got away from Fowler, who's going to be behind the plate.
Interesting to see Mazzetti batting in the second spot, too. We haven't seen that often this year.
Here's a 2-1 from Martinez. That's going to be down low. Mazzetti going to barehand it.
Right, what I say, George, he does it all. He helped out the catcher, too. Such a gentleman. I think
So it's going to be a 3-1 count.
I think he's still talking to Fowler about it. Fowler probably, hey, nice play, big guy.
Fowler's probably hoping that Mazzetti catching it means he's out, but it's going to be a 3-1. That's going to be ball 4. So Mazzetti gets on base for the Power, which brings up Efren Manzo, the third baseman for Palm Springs. Batting .364 on the season. 1,048 OPS. Very productive at the plate is Efren Manzo.
Yet another guy who's walked more than he struck out this season, 7-5. Another guy, he doesn't give a whole lot of at-bats away. He looks for his pitch. Doesn't swing at too many bad balls, nothing like that. Another tough at-bat.
8 hits on the year for Manzo. One of them being a triple, another one a double. As that's going to be hit up over to Lewis in right field. That's going to drop right in front of him. So runners now first and second for Palm Springs as Manzo gets hit number 9 on the season, the first hit of the ball game for Palm Springs.
I mean, here's why Manzo's swing is so good too. Like he didn't make the best of contact on that ball. A little bit of a late swing, but he keeps his bat in the zone for such a long time, where even if he's a little bit late, he's still able to make good contact.
Evan Berkey, he's at the plate now for Palm Springs. Batting .324 this season. Breaking ball just low, 1-0.
Even hear a few Yetis fans down there asking where that pitch was.
Just downstairs. So 1-0 for Berkey. Manzo on first, Mazzetti on second. Martinez, he's going to get set on the mound, looking back over at Joey Mazzetti on second. Here's 1-0. That's going to be hit up into the air. Lane going to have to back up. That drops over his head. Mazzetti going to come in to score, and then they're going to hold Efren Manzo up. Oh, is that throw? As a throw there from Roca. And that's going to be an RBI double for Evan Berkey.
I mean, that was a really, really nice swing from Berkey. Boy, did that ball jump too, George. Like I was even wondering, the fly ball from Mew back in the first inning, I thought it traveled pretty well to center field. Man, did that ball from Berkey take off to center too.
So with 2 runners in scoring position, power up 1-0. Mazzetti comes in home to score after an RBI double from Evan Berkey. Brings up Spencer Dickinson for Palm Springs, batting .286 on the season. That pitch can be down low, 1-0.
I think the bad throw initially we saw from Jack Early out at second base, I think it was one of those where he thought about throwing it and then he was trying to hold on to it, but in the middle of the motion just came right out of his hand and spiked it into the ground.
Swing and miss there from Spencer Dickinson. Knots the count up at 1 apiece. With 1 out, 2 runners on here. Bottom of the first inning, power up 1-0. Here's a 1-1. That's going to be fouled back.
Close.
So the count is 1-2 for Spencer Dickinson.
George, I think if that ball were maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet lower, would have been right in Marshall's lap.
So an 89-mile-per-hour fastball there from Martinez. Makes the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. Dickinson going to pop this one up. Shallow center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. As 1 run's going to come in to score. That's Efren Manzo. An RBI single there for Spencer Dickinson. As that now puts Palm Springs power up 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning against the San Diego Yeti. So Mazzetti and Manzo come to score. Berkey now on third, runners on the corners, and now we're going to have a mound meeting. Everybody in the infield's brought in.
I think you almost have to at this point. You're already down 2-0. If you're the Yeti, you have runners on first and third, 1 out. You don't want to let this inning get away from you, especially the power feeling a lot of momentum right now. Especially after a couple of games where even though they won the previous game, the bats haven't quite been going the same way that they have been throughout a lot of the middle of the season during that 14-game win streak. So there looks like it might be heating up a bit, George.
So Chris Moody going to talk over things with Chris Martinez on the mound. They're going to break the huddle. With 1 out, runners on the corners for Palm Springs. Dickinson on first, Berkey on third. This brings up Anthony Angel Jr. to the plate. He's playing over at second base. Here's the pitch from Martinez. Swing on and miss, 0-1 the count.
I think the outfielders have backed up quite a bit, George, since that double from Berkey. Seeing how well the ball's carrying, they're playing very deep now. Jeez, lane and center is way back now.
So 1-1's the count for the second baseman. Power up 2-0 over the Yeti. Here in the bottom of the first inning, 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be way upstairs. Another fastball, 2-1 for Anthony Angel Jr.
But granted, another danger possibly of playing so deep is what we saw right there from Spencer Dickinson. Such a big swing from the big man, but might force the outfield to go back.
Anthony Angel Jr. going to pop this one. Lane backtracks underneath it. And Berkey going to tag up over, and he's going to score. Sacrifice fly there for Anthony Angel Jr. Power now lead 3-0.
Frankly, Noah Lane backed up quite a bit in center field before that pitch was thrown, and it's a good thing he did. Because by the time he caught them, it was only maybe 5, 6, 7 feet off the warning track. I mean, the ball's jumping tonight. George, I can tell how much you love these walk-up songs.
Yes, as Richie Amavisca walks up to the plate, he's batting in that 7-hole.
You've got your favorite walk-up song, if I'm not mistaken.
It's actually Anthony Angel Jr.'s.
Oh, wow,
His is my favorite walk-up song.
Gotcha.
As that's going to get inside for strike one. Dickinson, he's going to go to second, and he's going to slide in safely.
I mean, really heads-up base running from Dickinson. A careless throw by the catcher Fowler. It one hopped back into Martinez. It got right on past him. Hey, give some credit to the big man. That's some heads-up base running right there.
So 2 outs. That puts Dickinson in scoring position over on second with Amavisca at the plate. Batting .240 on the season. Gonna foul this one back. 0-2 the count for the shortstop.
George Dickinson's really feeling himself out there on second base. He was doing like a little bit of a cha-cha out there. He was ready to go steal third.
So 0-2 is the count. Amavisca, 12 hits on the season. He's going to hit that one up over to Roca. Going to ground it up over. The throw is in time for out number 3. So that's going to retire the side. Dickinson, the lone runner on base. However, the Power are able to score 3 runs. Mazzetti, Manzo, and Berkey all come in to score. Puts them up 3-0 as we go top of the second. Noah Lane, J.D. Schaffer, Tom Early, the 3 due up next when we return. Here we are, set back. Top of the second inning. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Noah Lane leading things off here for the second inning. Power up 3-0 over the San Diego Yeti. Here's a pitch from Shaw. Gonna be down low, 1-0. So the Power, they have 3 hits and 3 runs on the day. Is that pitch gonna get out of the glove of Swan? He's kind of squeezing the glove a little bit after that, checking to see, making sure that grip's good on there. It's going to be a 2-0 count now for Lane.
Yeah, Swan's been excellent all year, especially in the PSCL and even his limited appearances with the Power. Straight, I guess the third ball has popped out of his glove tonight, so something possibly to keep an eye on.
2-1 for Shaw. As that's going to get inside for strike 2. Counts now 2-2.
Shaw's really got that curveball going tonight, especially against the righties.
Here's a 2-2. Has swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for Evan Shaw, the lefty. Which brings up J.D. Schaffer.
And that's an excellent combination of curveballs right there from Shaw to Lane. He got the called strike, breaking the curveball back over the outside half. Then he went down and in, starting in the zone, going a little bit off the plate towards the righty's back foot to get the swing through. Really good sequence to get the strikeout.
He fouled off. 0-1 for the third baseman, Schaffer. So 2 strikeouts, both of them going down as swinging strikeouts for Evan Shaw, with J.D. Schaffer at the plate. No hits allowed so far. Here's a pitch.
Whoa,
heads up
hey
there.
now.
And Schaffer lets go of the bat, swinging and missing. It's going to be 0-2 now.
I mean, George, that might be the bat toss of the year right there. That went about halfway up the screen to the left of the right-handed batter. I mean, my goodness, that was a heave.
So 0-2 is the count. With 1 out, here's a pitch from Shaw. Just outside 1-2, as Tyler Swan had to cross body, extend for that pitch there.
I wonder if the fans get to keep a bat if it enters the stands. That'd be pretty cool. I have a feeling the answer's no, though.
1-2. Gonna be just downstairs. Count is now 2-2.
I might have to ask the boss about that after the game.
Tom Early, he's on deck for the Yeti. Here's a 2-2. And that's going to get Schaffer looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Evan Shaw.
I mean, look, what can we say? Another excellent curveball locating on the outer part of the plate to the right-handed batter. I mean, I feel like I've said it a lot, but if it's working, keep going back to it. It's something that, frankly, a lot of pitchers, sometimes they might want to get too cute and try something else. No, I like this from Shaw and Swan right now. Keep going to the well if it's going to keep working.
Tom Early, the lefty against the lefty Evan Shaw. That pitch going to get inside, fastball, strike 1.
Ha! You serious?
Here's the 0-1 from Evan Shaw. That's going to get inside. 0-2 now the count. Early, Tom Early had to back up out of it. Brother Jack Early batting 9th in this Yeti's lineup. As they're going to say he went, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Evan Shaw, all of them being strikeouts. And we now go to the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Levi Hall, Tyler Swan, Isaiah Alvarez. A 3 due up next. Palm Springs Power, they're up 3-0 in the bottom of the second inning when we return. Here we are leading things off in the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Levi Hall, the right fielder. The lefty for Palm Springs as they're up 3-0 against the San Diego Yeti. As they're looking to continue what they've been able to do. Evan Shaw had 3 straight strikeouts last inning. And is Hall going to swing and miss there? Pitch from Martinez.
It's been really cool seeing Levi Hall getting the call up, George, especially excellent season in the PSCL. Warranted staying out here for an extra week, getting some high level at bats against a higher level of competition, frankly. He's seen guys throwing in the high 80s, low 90s. I'm not sure how often he's seen that before, but it's an excellent opportunity. It's like a very late timeout call. I think looks like Martinez was getting ready to pitch and Hall wasn't even looking up. That's a dangerous thing to do.
Yes. So 0-2 is the count for Levi Hall. That pitch is going to be upstairs, 1-2. And that throw there from Fowler just got way over the head of Martinez.
Yeah, the fans going to get on their cases too about, especially Martinez quick pitching Hall. They didn't appreciate that too much, and seeing the errant throw.
1-2 is the count. That's a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be a broken bat, chopped up into the air. Martinez going to call for it. Going to be first out. Brings up the 9-hole hitter and the catcher, Tyler Swan. So Tyler Swan, another one of those PSCL call-ups. Gold Glove winner there as well. One of the best catchers we saw all season long, Evan.
Oh, that's only putting it lightly. I mean, look, he's an excellent thrower behind the plate. I mean, he receives the ball extremely well. And whoa! Oh my goodness, that ball was over his head. That fastball at 92 went right over the head of Tyler Swan. Wow. Let's see, we've got a chucked bat, a ball over the catcher's head. It's only the second inning, George. How about this?
Swan going to swing and miss. It's going to be 1-1 off the 93-mile-per-hour fastball there from Chris Martinez.
He's feeling it. Some of the fastest pitches I've seen all season.
As that's going to get through the glove of Fowler. So count is now 2-1 with Isaiah Alvarez, a leadoff hitter, on deck.
And right now, if you're a power hitter, especially getting back towards the top of the order, I think you just zone in on that fastball right now. Martinez, frankly, he's just trying to throw as hard as he possibly can. I'd say he's almost more throwing instead of pitching at the moment. Just aiming right down the middle, throw as hard as you can. I wouldn't worry about any kind of off-speed pitch until he shows me something.
2-2 is the count for Tyler Swan. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Going to be the first strikeout of the day for Chris Martinez, which brings us to the top of the order, Isaiah Alvarez. With 2 outs. Isaiah Alvarez, center fielder, 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to short in his first plate appearance.
I'm real curious about what we see from the power hitters, George, the second time through the lineup. Especially, look, we haven't seen much as far as off-speed pitches go. I mean, his fastball, he comes right over the top too, and it's a very straight-looking fastball. He seems like the kind of guy, if you can just time him up and get your foot down early, you can hit him pretty hard. He'll supply most of the power too.
Martinez, here's the 1-0 kick. That's popped up into the air, deep right field. Lewis had to change direction. That's going to get over his head.
I think he
caught that.
Did he catch it?
Looks like he did catch it.
Wow.
For out number 3.
He didn't act like he caught it.
And he got it right at the warning track. Looks like he took a weird hobble. And that's going to be the end of the second inning. As it's going to be Vito Fowler, Jack Early, and Nick Roca. The 3 due up next when we return for the top of the third inning. Power still up 3-0. Here we are set for the top of the third inning. Vito Fowler leading things off. He's the catcher for the San Diego Yetis. They trail 3 runs to the Palm Springs Power. That pitch there from Shaw down low, 2-0 the count to the catcher. First time we're seeing him here, Evan, after a 1-2-3 inning from Evan Shaw. All 3 of them being strikeouts, 2 of them swinging, 1 of them looking.
I mean, Shaw is absolutely locked in right now. It seems like he's commanding all of his pitches extremely well as he gets another good fastball on the inside half right there. I mean, look, the fastball looks really good. The curveball's great. He's throwing it on both sides of the plate. He's changing speeds. This San Diego Yeti lineup right now, George, they look overmatched.
Here's a 1-1 from Shaw. That's going to be cracked up. Manzo, 3 hops there over to Dickinson at first for out number 1. Which brings up Jack Early, the 9-hole hitter here. So Jack Early playing over at second base. First time we're seeing him this evening here in the top of the third inning as the Palm Springs Power. They're up 3-0 over the San Diego Yeti.
Once again, Power able to get on the board in the first inning, jump on the pitcher, coming right out of the bullpen. That's often the best time to get him, too.
So 0-1 is the count. Shaw, here's the kick. That's going to get inside for strike 2. Really solid pitching here so far this evening for Evan Shaw. 4 strikeouts on the day, no hits.
He's almost been one of those more underrated guys for the Power. Talk about Phillips and Maloney a ton, but Shaw's right there.
And Early goes down swinging, which goes now. We flip the page for the top of the order. Nick Roca. He was walked, the only Yeti to get on base today. And now it's after a leadoff walk. He was able to make his way to second, but nothing more than that. As here's a pitch from Shaw. Going to be outside and upstairs 1-0. Beautiful evening here in Palm Springs, California. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser on the call. Just upstairs, 2-0 the count for Nick Roca.
You know, George, it has been really cool seeing. We've seen a few more clouds, honestly, throughout the past week or so. And we're seeing some of these sunsets, we're seeing the clouds almost look a little red and purple.
3-0 is the count for the top of the order. With 2 outs, nobody on here, top of the third inning. Power up 3-0 over the Yeti. Here's a 3-0 from Shaw. That's going to get inside for strike 1. Solid pitch there.
Felt like Racha was taking all the way right there. I can't say I blame him. I mean, the Yeti, besides the leadoff walk in the first inning, nothing from him.
3-1. That's going to be swung on and missed. Full count now for Nick Roca, the shortstop.
And that's some great confidence right there, seeing a curveball and a 3-1. And right there, Racha was set up for a fastball. He didn't get it, and he looked silly on that pitch.
Here's a 3-2. That's going to be outside, and Roca is going to be walked once again. So with 2 outs, it brings us to Ethan Cachetta. The left fielder, he struck out swinging in the top of the first inning.
George, the beer batter's back up. He struck out his first time, too. In case anyone's curious back home, the beer batter's still in play all the way through the 7th inning, even if he strikes out once earlier in the game.
2 outs, 1 runner on. Here's a pitch from Shaw. It's going to paint around the black of home plate, 1-0 the count.
I wonder if we'll see Roca take off from first.
Check back over. He's going to be safe over on first. Is Shaw going to get set with the 1-0 to Cachetta, who struck out swinging. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Here, top of the third inning for the San Diego Yeti, who trail by 3 runs. Here's a 1-0. Fastball gonna get the top of the strike zone, 1-1 the count.
And just like we saw last inning from the Yeti, we're seeing the power outfielders playing much deeper. Already seeing several times the ball just carrying really well tonight.
2-1 the count. Two outs, one runner on for the Yeti. Here's a 2-1 from Shaw. And just outside, 3-1, the hitters count.
George, the fans definitely don't want the beer batter to walk tonight. They want him to at least earn his way on.
Here's a 3-1. That's going to be outside for ball 4. Puts 2 runners on. Most runners we've seen in an inning.
And the last thing I want to do with 2 outs is walk back-to-back hitters, especially with how good Evan Shaw has been on the mound. I want to see him go back to that fastball a little bit. I think he's falling a little bit in love with the curveball right now. It's been excellent for him, but he's missed with it a few times. He tried to go with it again on a 3-1 count. He got a swing and miss to Rocca in the previous at-bat. Go with the fastball. Try and come in. You're up 3 runs. Not the biggest deal if you give up a couple hits. Another curveball.
1-0 the count to Taylor Moe, the first baseman. He flew out to Alvarez his first time at bat. 2 runners on as a power up 3-0. Here's a 1-0 from Shaw. Lefty against the lefty. That's going to be up high, 2-0.
This is a bit of a danger zone right here for Shaw, especially with the 3-hitter Mew up. Last thing you want to do is fall behind the 3-batter, 2-0. He's fighting his command a little bit. Because then at some point, you're going to have to come in there with a hittable fastball. And when runners in scoring position in the middle of the order up, that can be trouble.
Here's a 2-0 from Shaw. Swung on and missed. So 2-1 the count for Taylor Moe.
I can't believe he went with a curveball right there, George.
2 outs, 2 runners on. Cachetta on first, Roca on second. Here's a 2-1. Big swing and a miss there from Moe. Lefty against lefty. Shaw and the company looking to retire the side, leaving 2 runners on as they have a 3-0 lead over the Yeti here in the top of the 3rd inning.
I mean, I'd be looking fast right here if I'm Moe. That's curveball, excuse me.
Here's a 2-2. Both runners advancing. And Moe goes down swinging. 6th strikeout of the day for Evan Shaw. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's going to be Joey Mazzetti, Efren Manzo, and Evan Berkey. The 3 due up next when we return. Power up 3-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning, due up next. Here we are, bottom of the third inning. It's going to be George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Joey Mazzetti leading things off for the Power. He was walked in the bottom of the first. Was able to score a run as well. Chase Martinez gets set on the mound. Here's the pitch. As fastball up high, 1-0.
Have we seen an off-speed pitch yet from Martinez, George? I'm not sure if we have.
I don't think we have either, Evan. A lot of them have been in the low 80s, excuse me, low 90s.
Yeah.
To mid 90s. We've seen some 93s.
So no off-speed pitches yet.
So 1-1 is the count for the left fielder, Joey Mazzetti.
Oh, we saw a couple shakes right there for Martinez. I wonder what that's all about.
Here's a 1-1. That's going to be fouled back. 1-2 for Joey Mazzetti. Efren Manzo on deck.
So after throwing nothing but fastballs, he shakes off his catcher twice to throw another fastball. Talk about mind games there, George.
It's 93-mile-per-hour fastball there. Here's the 1-2. Another fastball. That's going to get Mazzetti swinging. Second strikeout on the day for Chase Martinez. With Efren Manzo approaching the batter's box now. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored as well. And an RBI.
You definitely want to see the Power try and put together another rally, especially with those 3 big runs in the first. You got out of the jam just now with Evan Shaw. You really want to try and put your stamp on this early advantage that you have. So if you let a team hang around, the further and further you get into the game, the more excited they might get. So if you have a chance, put them away early.
That was the first off-speed pitch we saw from Chase Martinez, coming at 66 miles an hour. Fastball down low, 2-0 for the third baseman, Efren Manzo.
It's a big change of speeds right there, 87 to 93, and then you drop it all the way down to 66 on the curveball.
And then back up to 92 on the fastball. As that's going to be painting the black around, that's going to get inside for strike 1.
Looks like Manzo didn't really like that strike call too much. That's a pitcher's pitch along that outside part of the plate. And when you're throwing 92, you have a tough fastball like that, it makes it much tougher as a hitter.
That's going to be down in the way. Hitters count 3-1 for Efren Manzo with Evan Berkey on deck.
At this point, you know a fastball's going to come, so you either have to divide the play in half. Either look in or look out. If you get one in your spot, get ready to hammer it.
That's a hard hit ball up into the air. Lewis going to track it underneath that one for out number 2.
That was a really good swing there from Manzo. He just got a bit off the end of the bat. I mean, that's a pitch right there, he'd want back.
Evan Berkey stepping in the batter's box now for the Palm Springs Power. Have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. He had an RBI double and scored a run as well. Chase Martinez, here's the pitch.
Ooh.
That's going to get inside. Breaking ball there. 0-1. Looked like Berkey showed sign of bunting.
I don't think he liked that strike call too much. Wonder if he thought that curveball was high.
65-mile-per-hour curveball. A little far inside. Regardless, 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch.
Ooh.
That's way behind the back of Evan Berkey. So 1-1 the count.
That's what you might almost call effectively wild there, George. You saw a fastball over the head of I think it was Tyler Swan an inning ago, and now a curveball over the head of Berkey. Oh, jeez.
As that's going to get Berkey right in the elbow there. So that's going to be a hit by pitch. And Berkey's going to get on base with 2 outs.
Thank goodness he had that elbow guard. I thought that, for a moment, I thought that was much worse than that would have hit him in the hand. But, I mean, look, you got the elbow guard on for a reason, so thank goodness.
Now batting, first baseman, number 52.
That's not comfortable by any means, especially the pitch before. I know it's a curveball, it's still over your head, and then come back up and in with 93.
So 2 outs, 1 runner on. Spencer Dickinson had a base hit. Was able to go to second off the error. So 1-0 count for Dickinson.
If I'm Dickinson, I'm almost looking at this like a 2-0 pitch. Divide the play in half. Right now, Martinez, he doesn't have the best command. Woo, that throw over nearly got away. His command's not good at the moment. So he's just trying to get one over. It's probably aiming right down the middle, trying to just pump 92-mile-per-hour fastballs. Just zone in on one and see if you can put some good wood on it.
Here's a 1-0 from Chase Martinez, way inside, 2-0 the count for Dickinson, who leaned out of that one. So Anthony Angel Jr. on deck.
Yeah, Chase Martinez, he's fighting himself a bit right now. This fastball might go right down the middle, or at least aiming there.
Or in the next batter's box, as it's going to be 3-0 the count for Dickinson.
Yeah, me on that one there, George. I mean, now if I'm Dickinson, I'm taking all the way. None of these 3 pitches have, frankly, been within a country mile of the strike zone. So he'll get the same pitch anyway, 3-1, so I'm taking here.
As that's going to be ball number 4. With Anthony Angel Jr., he's stepping in the batter's box now. He had a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the first inning over to center field to Lane.
And look, we saw just an inning ago. Evan Shaw was able to get the first 2 outs very easily. Then he walked the next 2 batters, ended up fighting his command. He was able to get out of that inning. Let's see if the power can make Chase Martinez pay by putting these previous 2 guys on.
2 outs, 2 runners on. Power up 3-0 here in the ballgame. That pitch inside, 1-0.
I'm not usually the biggest fan of just taking a strike, especially with runners in scoring position, but 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone, excuse me. I think it's 7. 7 straight pitches out of the strike zone. Most of them have not been close. Like if I'm Anthony Angel Jr., I'm not giving away potential out here.
Is that pitch going to get the top of the strike zone? 1-1 the count.
Yeah, that was only 84. He took something off of that pitch right there. Just trying to guide it over the plate.
So 2 runners on. With 2 outs, Amavisca on deck. Anthony Angel Jr. at the plate. Here's a 1-1, swung on and missed. A 1-2 the count now for the second baseman.
Well, AJ, he needs to shorten up just a little bit right here. That was a big swing on a 1-1 count. I don't blame him trying to do some damage, but now it's time to try and put the ball in play. Martinez, he'll supply the necessary power. The ball's jumping tonight. It's a hitter's night. Just put it in play and see what happens.
Here's a 1-2. Anthony Angel Jr. going to go down swinging, leaving 2 runners on. Third strikeout of the day for Chase Martinez. That's going to retire the side. We're going to send it to the top of the 4th inning. Elijah Lewis, Noah Lane, J.D. Schaffer, the 3 due up next when we return.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're set for the top of the fourth inning. I'm Evan Schmeiser, joined by George Hathaway. You know, George, the Power got off to a blazing hot start, putting up 3 runs in the first inning and putting 3 hits together, back to back from Manzo, Berkey, and Dickinson. Grant has been quiet ever since, but fortunately for the Power, Evan Shaw, he's kept things really quiet for the Yeti. No hits through 3 innings. Just a few walks. That's the only damage so far. Worked out of a jam with a couple men on base back in the second inning, but he's been excellent so far.
Can't forget about his 6 strikeouts as well. He's certainly been dealing on the mound today.
So 2-0 the count now to Elijah Lewis. Lined out softly to the third baseman Manzo, his first time up in the first inning. 4, 5, 6 for the Yeti, Lewis, Noah Lane, and J.D. Schaefer. And Shaw back out for his 4th inning of work. That sky down the air to center. Alvarez didn't see it right away. Now he does. Doesn't have to move all that much, and he puts it away for the first out.
A lot of fly balls coming towards the way of Isaiah Alvarez. Getting good hang time, and he's taking about 1 or 2 steps inside, as those balls from the Yeti aren't hit too hard. But it feels like it's the opposite side of things for the Palm Springs Power. It's where the outfield for the Yeti have to back up a lot.
Yes. So that brings up Noah Lane. He struck out his only bat in the second. He takes that fastball outside. 7 out of the past, before that fastball, 7 out of the previous 8 pitches we saw from Shaw were breaking balls. We see another one right there. Feels like he's going to a lot of curveballs right now, George. He's throwing them at, frankly, any count.
And with that, the curveball's working for Evan Shaw. Like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes.
And it's certainly been helping him out, being able to record 6 strikeouts, using that curveball for a lot of them. So if he can just keep doing it, these Yeti guys are going to keep swinging at it, because the thing is, with this curveball, it comes in looking like it's a fastball, and then it breaks right the last second. And has a really nice curve to it as well at the tail end.
Well, so far the Yeti have not made much of an adjustment second time through the order, as we stand at the 5-hitter right now. That misses 3-1. Shaw's had good command throughout the entire season. At times, though, just fighting himself a little bit tonight. We've seen the 3 walks already and a 3-1 count here. He goes another curveball down low. You've seen several times on 3-1 counts going with curveballs. Sometimes he's gotten a strike, sometimes he's missed. That time he missed right there for his 4th walk of the game. So a 1-out base runner for the Yeti. It brings up J.D. Schaefer. He struck out looking his only at bat in the second. Power will look to turn 2 with 1 out. Angel Jr. and Amaviska are pinched towards the second base bag. Pretty good sized lead from Lane over at first. Curveball at softly foul up the third base line.
Schaffer struck out looking in that 1-2-3 inning that Evan Shaw had. Very strong top of the second inning. He's just looking to kind of pick up there after allowing 2 walks last inning and a walk this inning. So just trying to find that rhythm right now for the starting pitcher for the Palm Springs.
Yeah, and the Yeti, they're still looking for their first hit tonight. Not a whole lot of balls hit hard. That's off the glove of Swan. Going to second is Lane. He'll get in there standing up. We'll see what the official score on that one's going to be. I'll wager that's probably going to be a pass ball. We'll see what Eli has to say about that in a moment. So a 1-out runner on second base now for the Yeti. If Schaefer can come up with the first hit, it could lead to a run. That one's off the glove once again of Swan. It goes all the way to the backstop. Big turn at third and throw down. Safe is the call at third. Wow. Lane almost ran right into an out. Heads up play by Tyler Swan to try and throw behind him. That one will surely go down as a wild pitch. Shaw ended up spiking the curveball that time. Swan did all he could, but just popped right up in the air.
And it got behind him as well. He lost it since it took such a high bounce up into the air. He thought it was going to land right back in front of him. However, It went all the way behind him towards the backstop and off the net there.
So the power infield's playing about halfway. I would think they concede a run on a ground ball. So that curveball misses outside, 3-1. Lots and lots of curveballs. Just wonder how much confidence Shaw has in his fastball right now. Like, if I'm a Yeti hitter, George, wouldn't you be looking curveball almost to this point?
Pretty much. And then Evan Shaw's good about switching it up a little bit.
That one's bounced in front of the mound. Shaw looks on it back. Nice play, getting it over the first. Really athletic play from the lefty coming off the mound. And it forces Lane to stay over at third.
What I like about that play, Evan Shaw looked back over at Noah Lane at third, waited till the last second in order for Lane not able to run and take home and then possibly, break this game open to a 2-run ball game.
Frankly, that was one of the better fastballs we saw, too, from Shaw. He was able to locate down the inner half. I wonder if Schaefer was looking for it, and he bounced it right back to the pitcher. Can't ask for more than that if you're the power infield. So now Tom Early, the batter, he struck out swinging back in the second. Evan Shaw struck out the side in order back in the second inning. 6 overall tonight. So power lead 3-0, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. So that missed a little inside 2-0. Yeti have a 2-out runner over at third base. Noah Lane walked with 1 out. Reitz went to second on a pass ball, over the third on a wild pitch. Yeti still looking for their first hit tonight as they trail 3-0. Here's the 2-0. Fastball at the knee, strike 1.
Figure it out!
So now the wind's been going all over the place. Now it's going solidly left to right. We've seen it blow out to right field for a little bit. We've seen it coming straight in from center field tonight, which hasn't been all that common throughout the season. Also seen the flag doing absolutely nothing in center field at times. Now long looking from Shaw. Now he's set with the 2-1. On the inside corner, strike 2. Good fastball that time.
We've seen a few straight fastballs here from Evan Shaw, switching it up from the normal routine that we've been seeing from him with the curveball. So now he's going to have all these Yeti guys second-guessing themselves.
The 2-2, fastball, high. Didn't miss by much. It's now a full count. Vito Fowler waits on deck. He ground out softly to third. First base is open. Here's the 3-2. Curveball! Just misses ball 4. Shaw was already walking off the mound. He was certain he had that one.
That looked good from up here.
Well, on that note, it'll be the 5th walk of the night for Shaw. Pitch count creeping up just a little bit too, especially with all the deep counts. So now it brings up Vito Fowler. He need a moment to get his catcher's gear off. As I mentioned earlier, grounded out to third base, is only at bat. Opportunity for the Yeti. Try and get on the board as they trail 3-0. Power with 3 runs on 3 hits, all coming back in the first inning. Yeti, no runs, no hits. They've, so far, scattered 5 walks. Throw down the second, the runner was going, that's going to get by it. And crossing the plate will be Noah Lane. Early was running on the pitch. The throw ended up coming in on a hop. It got past Angel Jr. was covering, and that was more than enough to allow Lane to score. We'll see how that's going to be scored by Eli down below. Definitely a stolen base for Early. Couldn't tell if Lane, George, if he went right on the throw or if he went after the throw got away. All the little intricacies, whether it's a stolen base or an error. Either way, it's the 0-1, curveball 0-2. So the Powers lead now down to just 2. It's 3-1. And Eli confirms no error on the play, so it'll go down as a double steal. 0-2 the count now to Vito Fowler, Early out there on second base with 2 outs. 0-2 is Off of both players. Off of Shaw Angel Jr. in the center field. Another run's going to score. The throw's cut off. Now they got foul in a rundown. Throw to second. He's going to be out right there. So I'm not sure how that one's going to be scored from Vito Fowler, but either way, 2 runs come across to score for the Yeti as the side is retired. 2 runs, no hits, a couple walks, a couple stolen bases. This time the Yeti able to take advantage of the walks from Shaw. So to the bottom of the 4th we go. Power offense looking to get back to work as their lead is trimmed down to 1. To the bottom of the 4th we go, ladies and gentlemen. The power lead is now down to just 1. It's 3-2. Yeti were able to put a couple of runs across in the 4th, taking advantage of a couple walks, a double steal, an error, another ball that got away, a little bit of a sloppy inning from the power. And so now we're set for the bottom of the 4th. Amaviska, Hall, and Swan, 7, 8, 9, the hitters due up. Second time all these guys will be seeing Chase Martinez. So try and get back to work. Power put up 3 runs in the 1st inning on 3 hits. Almost nothing since. That ball's chopped high up to the shortstop, Rocha, and over the first for a quick out. And Amaviska goes down on 1 pitch.
That's the 2nd time Richie Amaviska has grounded out over to Rocha over at shortstop.
So 1 pitch, 1 out, it brings up Levi Hall. He popped out back to the mound, his only at bat. Well, that with 1 out. Chase Martinez back out for his 4th inning of work. Looking to try and record a shutdown inning. Send his team right back to the dugout after putting up 2 runs. Fastball inside again, 2-0. We'll say Martinez, whether it's intentional or not, George, he's thrown inside quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get with those high fastballs there, reaching 92, 93. Losing a little bit of that control there.
Fouled straight back, 2-1. Big swing that time from Hall. Yeti outfield playing a bit more shallow now, perhaps with the bottom of the order up. Elijah Lewis in right, playing relatively shallow with a lefty up. Same with Ethan Cachetta out in left. Even Lane in center, he's over towards left center playing shallow. 3-1 the count. Chase Martinez still about 88 and 92 on his fast when he really rears it up. 3-1, that's high, ball 4. So a 1-out walk for Levi Hall gives the Power a base runner. 3rd walk of the night for Martinez. So that'll bring up Tyler Swan, the catcher. He struck out his only at bat in the 2nd. we're gonna have a meeting on the mound right here. I guess Fowler is trying to settle Martinez back down. Yeah, they'll look to turn 2 here with 1 out.
Catcher, 48, Tyler Swan.
A big hole on the right side. Jack Gurley, the second baseman, playing way over to the second base bag. Taylor Mew holding runner on at first. So a big hole. Swan takes a fastball right down the chute, strike 1. That one came in at 87. Outfield this time playing relatively straight up. Whoa, another ball for Martinez. That's twice now. He's checked on the runner at first and nearly thrown it away. That's when we've seen a lot there, George, too, whether in PSEL games or here in power games. And there's so much room down the line in right where you can run for a long time if a ball gets over there.
Yeah, I mean, that throw, Mo had to leap up quickly, had cat-like reflexes on that one.
Big swing and a miss, 0-2. Overpowered him with a fastball that time. So now 0-2 the count. Back-to-back fastballs once again from Martinez towards the upper part of the strike zone. Tyler Swan looking for the Power's first hit since the first inning. That's off the glove of Fowler. Paul will now try to advance. So 1-2 the count.
Smart play from Levi Hall, not really advancing. Fowler, it didn't get too far away from him. Fowler was quick to, get that ball.
Another check on the runner. Hall went in standing up. Made it into a bit of a closer play. That time was a good throw for Martinez over the first. Frankly, if I were playing first base, and I played first base in my day, I wouldn't be all that comfortable trying to receive the throwovers like that. Short lead from Hall. Here's the 1-2. That one's hit foul. No action in either bullpen, so we'll expect to see Shaw come back out for the top of the fifth, and at least for now, this is Chase Martinez's ball game for the Yeti.
Allowing those 3 early hits and 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning, he seemed to have found his rhythm, even with those really hard fastball that he's been throwing that have kind of been all over the strike zone a little bit.
Well, that fastball drew some oohs and ahs right there, George. It just missed. I'm assuming it was low. Close pitch nonetheless. Pays to have a good relationship with the umpire if you're a catcher. They'll give you a call here and there. Long look in. Here's the 2-2. That one's just outside. 3-2. Couple close pitches now.
Way to battle back if you're Tyler Swan, being down in the count 1-2, taking a few good pitches now with the count full.
I mean, especially with the top of the order and Alvarez on deck. I mean, if I were a pitcher, I'm throwing a fastball right down the middle. There's nothing against Tyler Swan. I mean, look, he's a nice man. Alvarez is the leadoff hitter. Here's the 3-2. That one's hit hard out to center field. Chases lane back and over, and he's going to get there to put it away. So a pretty good drive right there from Tyler Swan, but hung up there just a little bit too long for lane. There's 2 outs. So the top of the order we go. It brings up Alvarez. Grounded out to short in the first, flew out to right in the second. See if the Power can ignite a little bit of offense with 2 outs. We're going to have another meeting on the mound. Fowler back out to talk to Martinez. Well, no. Twice in that conversation, Martinez Brought Fowler back in. Wonder if they're on the same page as far as what pitch to throw. Sometimes even in night games, it can be a little tough for a pitcher to even see the signs. Levi Hall, he stole 3 bases during the PSCL season. Once again, he has a pretty short lead over there. Curveball, check swing hit foul from Alvarez. That curveball right there. Chase Martinez really dropped down his arm slot. Oh, came in at 68 miles per hour.
One of the few off-speed pitches we've seen from Chase Martinez all ball game.
I think it caught Alvarez by surprise. Once again, big hole on the right side, even with 2 outs. Fastball, once again, Chase Martinez drops way down in his delivery. That one came in at 82. That one looked kind of submarine. I mean, it was a hitter. I wouldn't enjoy seeing that just with the changing arm slots. You expect to see the ball come out from one place, then it's released from a different location. So the 0-2. Broken bat, that's out to shortstop. And making the catch there is Roca. So no runs, no hits, a man left over at first on the walk. We're through 4 innings. The power lead 3-2. Evan Shaw is going to get back to work for the 5th inning. First up for the top of the 5th inning, ladies and gentlemen. 9-1-2 for the Yeti. Early, Roca and Cachetta. Yeti able to put 2 runs on the board back in the 4th. Still no hits on the board for them, though. Taking advantage of a couple walks, a wild pitch, a pass ball. But it's only a 1-run game for the Power now. Jack Early struck out back in the 3rd. His only at bat. Evan Shaw back out for his 5th inning of work. He delivers that one way outside. He's been pretty easy breezy all the way up until the 4th inning. Of course, ran into some trouble right there. Trying to find that groove again that he had for the first 3. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Almost looked like a slider right there. Came in at 76. Almost looked like it was going more right to left, as opposed to up and down. 1-2. On the outside corner, a called strike 3. Swan applies the tag to finish off the strikeout. 7th strikeout of the day for Evan Shaw. Boy, that was a good curveball.
Very solid pitching. We've been talking about it all night long, Evan. How important that curveball has been for Evan Shaw and his success on the mound. No hits, 7 strikeouts so far on the day. Really solid overall from him.
So that brings up Roca, the leadoff man. He's drawn 2 walks today. He hits that one out to right field. It sends Levi Hall back, but he's got a beat on it. He puts it away. First pitch swinging is Roca, and there's quickly 2 outs. Probably one of the harder hit balls we've seen from the Yeti. No damage nonetheless. Well, brings up the beer batter for his third chance of the play here, George. He struck out back in the first, making the Power fans very happy, and then drew a walk back in the third. That's Ethan Cachetta. Frankly, when Lamarche over there in the PA booth, when he announced at first who the beer batter was going to be, the Yeti dugout just started cracking up laughing. Swings to the first pitch, out to the second baseman, Angel Jr., and quickly a third out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Yeti. No beer for the Power fans in the house, but they'll definitely take a 1, 2, 3 inning from their man Evan Shaw. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Mazzetti, Manzo, and Berkey due up when we return. First up for the bottom of the 5th inning, ladies and gentlemen. Power still lead the Yeti 3-2. Evan Shaw just now is able to work a 1, 2, 3 top of the 5th inning. Probably one of the quickest innings we've seen all season, George.
That was a very quick inning. We saw a lot of one-pitch swings leading to outs.
So now it's Joey Mazzetti. He walked and scored in the first, struck out in the third. He'll dig in for his third at bat against Chase Martinez, who's still out there for the 5th. Nobody up in the Yeti bullpen. Delivers a curveball. And I got a piece of, looks like the elbow guard there of Mazzetti. And give him credit, he stayed in there, saw the curveball coming, and he'll take his base lead off the inning.
Second hit by pitch we've seen Chase Martinez today. Other one came in the elbow guard of Evan Berkey in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
That was a fastball too to Berkey coming in at like 91. That's a little easier there for Mazzetti with the curveball. That one is 66. He'll wear a 66 mile per hour curveball all day long, especially for the big man on first. So now it's Manzo. Takes a strike in the knees, 0-1. Manzo singled and scored back in the first. He flew out to right in the third. Another conversation on the mound between Fowler and Martinez. I mean, I don't know what they could be talking about. I don't think Fowler got crossed up.
I think there's been a little bit of miscommunication between the two of them throughout the ball game. We've seen it several times. We saw it twice already in the bottom of the 4th inning. And then second batter in, we're seeing it again.
I mean, it's not a good sign if you need to see the pitcher and catcher going out and talk so much, especially since Martinez, he's been pretty good since the 1st inning. Power have 3 hits on the board, none since the 1st. Now we're gonna have the coach come on out. Wonder if he saw something from Chase Martinez that gave him cause to pause.
We do have some action in the Yeti's bullpen to our right. So wonder what that could only mean.
There must be some kind of injury. So I saw the umpire also signal out. Here comes Haley to go check on Chase Martinez. I mean, the last fastball came in at 91. So the curveball and that fastball, it's 0-2 on Efren Manzo.
I don't actually think it's on Martinez. It's going to be on Fowler, yeah.
How about that? looks like he's something with his hand probably. He's holding his hand or a finger up to his teammates. Sometimes that can happen when you have a pitcher with a lot of life on his pitches, 91, 93 on the fastball, and then a curveball to go with it. Sometimes you can just get something jammed. So we'll have a new catcher out there. We'll try and get you his name as soon as we can. And I guess now Martinez on the mound. He's going to go over the new catcher, just his arsenal. I'll maybe catch just a couple warm-up pitches. So it's 0-2 on Efren Manzo, and mostly the new catcher is going to just take a couple warm-up pitches. The Powers still lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's nobody out. Joey Mazzetti was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. First pitch curveball.
Hey fans, the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Friari will be watching.
It looks like now we're set to go. Manzo will dig back in. He's facing an 0-2 count. Yeti will try and turn two with this long delay. So I guess now it makes a little more sense why Fowler was going out to the mound as often as he was, even with Chase Martinez, how effective he's been since the first inning. So here's the 0-2 to Manzo. He fouls that one straight back. He got a pretty good swing at that fastball.
Able to stay ahead on that pitch there and able to stay alive at the plate.
So still 0-2 the count. A long looking. That ball's hit hard. Off the glove of the second baseman early, but he's going to get the out second base either way. Ball just didn't get quite far away from enough for Mazzetti to advance safely. Manzo hit it hard, but he'll reach on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, it looks like Joey Mazzetti there just had a late jump on that ball. He thought that early actually was able to grab it up at second and had the tag back, but that was not the case.
Manzo hit it hard. So now it's Berkey. RBI double, and he scored back in that 3-run first inning. He was hit by a pitch in the third. Chase Martinez came in with a fastball up and in, right off his elbow guard. Sold out with one out, and now it's Manzo at first. Big swing and a miss right there. I wonder if at some point we'll see Manzo try and steal second base, especially with a new catcher coming in. He's got a medium-sized lead, about 3 steps or so. Once again, big hole on the right side. Check on the runner. Manzo back on the dive.
Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, left stump.
Breeze is picking up just a little bit more, too. Still going left to right. Power fans are enjoying that mist system, as they always do. Best one in the valley. Big swing and miss, 0-2. That ball was by Berkey.
And Chase Martinez going back to his signature fastball there in the mid-90s. Just going right by Berkey.
He's still pumping it in there, 89, 91 here in the 5th. Here's the 0-2 to Berkey. Swing and a miss. Evan Berkey goes down 3 pitches. There's 2 outs. Only the 4th strikeout tonight for Chase Martinez. Feels like he'd have more. He's had a lot of swings and misses.
The few walks and hit batters also didn't help him out too much, with the 3 hits from Manzo, Berkey, and Dickinson also came in that bottom of the first inning.
That ball goes right on by Mew. They're going to catch a break, though, as it hits a pole right there. Manzo's going for third, though. The throw down. Oh, he's going to be a dead duck. Yeah, he's out by several steps over there. We'll take that throw over. It got away, but it must hit one of those poles down there because it shot right on back to Mew. A lot of times we do see runners able to go from first to third on that play. So 3-5 on that put out over the third. There'll be an error on the pitch of Martinez. But either way, Chase is able to work around a leadoff base runner in the fifth, and it's still 3-2 power as we go to the sixth inning. To the top of the sixth inning we go, and it's turned into quite a pitcher's duel. Power still staked to a 3-2 lead, and only three hits combined. Power, all 3 hits back in the first inning. The Yeti still searching for their first hit. It'll be Taylor Mew, who just made the nice play to end the previous half inning. Martinez going to check on the runner at first, threw it away. Ball took a friendly Yeti hop back to Mew. He made a nice one over the third base to nab down Manzo. That ball skied a mile high out to left field. Mazzetti's out there, and he puts it away. His first chance of the night for the man who does it all, plays everywhere.
Yeah, Taylor Moe got underneath that pitch there. Sent it high up into the air, had a lot of hang time, was able to put it in good position for Joey Mazzetti, who just parked underneath it.
So Elijah Lewis will dig in, the cleanup hitter. George, on that play to end the previous frame, you made it what that ball would have hit for it to bounce back to Mew the way it did?
I think probably just off the ground, maybe even off the bottom of the fence there.
Well, that one's popped up. First pitch swing is Lewis. Back is Dickinson. And he looks like he just ran out of room. Ball's able to stay in play. He was getting pretty close to that fence right there. So it'll go down as a no play and strike 1 to Lewis. Looks like he also had to deal with that bullpen mound right there. I've seen 1 or 2 guys on opposing teams sprinting back there towards the bullpen mounds, then face planting.
Can be some tricky area over there. Very deep in foul territory.
Almost reminds me of like Towles Hill formerly Towles Hill, at least in the Astros ballpark. I remember seeing some fun plays of center fielders trying to get a catch. Wow. Swing and miss from Lewis. That pitch might have been 2 feet outside. Shaw's, I mean, look, Shaw's been in the strike zone tonight. He's been there for the most part. He's been really effective. Must have done something right to get a swing like that. So 0-2 the count now to Lewis. Big swing and a miss. That time the curveball. So 2 quick outs here in the 6th inning. Lewis goes down in 3 pitches.
8th strikeout on the day for Evan Shaw. Nobody warming up in the Palm Springs Power bullpen either. So if he keeps pitching like he has been, we could see him go the distance.
So now it's Lane. Struck out in the 2nd, walked, and scored in the 4th. Part of that 2-run 4th inning for the Yeti. Now bats with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch swinging it foul.
Nope.
I think all 3 batters this inning, George, have swung at the first pitch. The season's winding down too. Tomorrow night is the final game of the summer season. That ball's chopped foul. So the Power will take on the Inland Empire Bucks. That'll close it out. Good to hear more from George and I for the 2nd night in a row. So 0-2 the count now to Lane. That ball's out to right field. Chases Hall back a few steps. Now he comes in and he puts it away. So for the second straight inning, Evan Shaw able to retire the side in order. Set down 6 men in a row. He's been excellent, just about perfect through 6 innings. So to the bottom of the 6th we go. See if the power offense can get something going when we return. Spencer Dickinson, Anthony Angel Jr., Richie Maviska, the 3 scheduled hitters for the Power. Dickinson was at the plate when Manzo was thrown out, trying to go to third on an errant throw from Chase Martinez. So he bats with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Power lead 3-2. Power in search of their first hit since the 1st inning. George, I gotta say, that was probably one of the more adventurous races around the bases we've seen. I mean, they were going fast, but boy, we're seeing some turns going every which way. Sometimes even off course.
I know. Yeah, it came down to the last second.
I think one of our riders even ended up taking a little bit of a fall right at the end. But they all had fun. That's the most important thing. Spencer Dickinson's RBI single for him back in the 1st on the bloop hit. And he walked in the 3rd. Here's the 1-1. High 2-1. Chase Martinez back out for his 6th inning of work. I mean, he's been good since that 1st inning. Looks like Evan Langer still up and throwing for the 2nd inning in a row in the Yeti bullpen. Good to assume he'll be the first man out of the pen for them. Here's the 2-1. That's hit hard in the left field. Going back on his Cachetta. He's got a beat on it, though, and puts it away. Oh, I thought Dickinson had that one for a moment. Must have gotten that a little off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it popped it up high into the air. You got to remember, it's a very deep outfield there, so balls look like they travel, but then you see them kind of fly out.
I mean, George, you got to call both of Dickinson's home runs during the PSCL season here at Palm Springs Stadium.
Yes.
I have not seen a home run yet this season, whether for the Power or the PSCL. Big swing and a miss from Angel Jr. He's 0 for 2 or excuse me, 0 for 1. Sacrifice fly in the first, and he struck out in the third. Power in search of their first home run this season. All the big offense we've seen, the extra base hits, no home runs. Well, Berkey came close a couple times recently. 1-1 the count now to Angel Jr. And frankly, we're breezing along outside of the first for the Power and the fourth for the Yeti. That's the entire offense. 3-2 Power, 3 combined hits, all for the Power back in the first inning. Couple errors on the board for the Yeti, 1 for the Power. That's where we stand. Both Shaw and Martinez, they've been very effective. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Second time Angel Jr. goes down on strikes this evening. There's 2 outs.
Yes. Shortstop, number 3.
Now I'll bring up Richie Amavisca. Both at bats tonight, he's grounded out to shortstop. And right now, both starters, they're making pretty quick and easy work of these lineups. Nobody up in the Power bullpen, so safe to say we'll see Shaw come back out for the 7th. Big swing and a miss from Amavisca. I mean, it must be a good fastball, because it's outside just a handful of curveballs we've seen in the 60s. It's been exclusively 88, 90, 91, 92. Last one came in at 92 miles per hour. I know, that's definitely fast, though, for what probably almost all these guys are used to seeing during their regular seasons. Straight over-the-top delivery from Chase Martinez. Looks just to be a straight four-seamer. You know, I faced 92 a couple times, and that looks fast. Rare curveball, that's in the dirt, so 2-1. Even that curveball, though, Martinez looks like he just slows his arm motion up a lot. Like he tips his pitches in a way.
Yeah, and that's how he's going to get more control over the ball, where to place it correctly in the strike zone, because we've seen a lot of his fastballs.
Right back to Martinez, and an easy toss over the first. So 1, 2, 3 go the Power. Shaw and Martinez able to trade 1, 2, 3 innings respectively. Martinez really feeling himself now as he's coasting his way towards the dugout. Plenty of well-deserved high fives from his teammates. Wonder if that's the end of his night, if with a celebration like that. But either way, we're through 6 innings. Power still lead 3-2. We go to the 7th amidst this pitcher's duel.
J.D. Schaffer going to lead things off in the top of the 7th inning. Followed up by Tom Early, Vito Fowler. 3 due up next as a Power. They're up 3-2 here in the ball game. Evan Shaw still on the mound. It's his first pitch, going to be down low, 1-0. Schaffer, he's 0 for 2 on the day, struck out looking and then grounded out over to Evan Shaw.
George, you just mentioned a moment ago, we were really flying along in this game. I mean, we had a bit of a late start. Of course, we also had the injury situation to deal with, but only an hour 48 into the game, in the top of the 7th. Talk about really moving.
Here's a 1-1 from Shaw. That's going to get inside for strike 2.
Hey, you talk about free and easy right now, George. Evan Shaw, he just looks really comfortable out there.
Here's a 1-2, and that's going to be swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for J.D. Schaffer.
All kids are allowed in VIP right now to join
Ninth
us for the
strikeout.
singing. I repeat, all kids, come
Ninth
on down.
strikeout of the day for Evan Shaw. Let's see if he can hit double digits here with Tom Early. He struck out once already and had a walk.
I mean, they can barely touch Evan Shaw right now, let alone try and get a hit off of him. Still no hits with 1 out in the 7th inning. For the Yeti, of course.
Here's a 1-0 from Shaw. That's going to get inside for strike 1.
Pitcher's pitch right there.
Working the outside of the strike zone there is Evan Shaw. James Teets on deck.
Yeah, Teets came on to replace the starting catcher, Vito Fowler, with the injury.
So 1-2 is the count for Tom Early. Here's 1-2. That's going to get away there from Tyler Swan, just underneath his glove. 1-2 the count, though.
It's probably one of the few off-target pitches we've seen from Shaw since the 4th inning, frankly. He set 7 guys down in a row, and he's close to unhittable these past few innings. Ooh, good throw on the curveball.
3-2 the count for Tom Early.
And right there, what Early did right there on that backdoor breaking ball was just pray he didn't get strike 3 called on him. That time his prayer was answered. That got him. Or did it?
I think it's, no signal there that it actually hit him, Evan, so it's going to be ball 4. Second time Tom Early was walked. So it's going to be James Teets batting now for the San Diego Yeti. With 1 out, 1 runner on. Go ahead run at the plate. And as a Palm Springs Power, they're up 3-2.
So Teets is batting in the 8th spot. Straight up substitution with him and Fowler a few innings ago. Woof. That one almost got away from Dickinson. Simple toss to first almost turned into run like crazy on the bases.
0-1 is the count to Teets. First time we're seeing him at the plate this evening. Here's a pitch from Shaw. Going to be upstairs 1-1. Tyler Swan had to leap up to grab that one there. With Jack Early on deck with 1 out. Shaw waiting the sign from Swan, gets set, looks back over on first. Here's a 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count for James Teets. Just looked like a little bit of a slow swing there from him. As he's behind in the count 1-2.
If I'm Shaw right here, you got a sub coming off the bench. I'm going with a fastball right now. Challenge this man ahead 1-2.
That's going to be ripped foul. Count still stands 1-2.
A decent swing that time from Teets. So I wonder now, you go back with a fastball even with that late swing, or do you throw a curveball and risk speeding up his bat? Tough decisions.
1 out, 1 runner on. Shaw, here's a 1-2 kick. The
Well, they got
throw
picked
over,
off.
and they got him. And, As a throw from Dickinson way out in front of Anthony Angel Jr.
I'm curious to see how they score that one, George. I mean, they had him picked off. Looks like early. He runs pretty well. Dickinson got that one stuck in his glove, so he had to double pump it. And it would have been bang bang at second base, even on a good throw, catch, and tag. But either way, an opportunity for the Yeti now. One out, a man scoring position. Still, even without a hit yet tonight. Wonder what Eli has to say about that one down below.
As that's going to be down low, 2-2 the count with the tying run in scoring position. That's Tom Early.
Yeah, that's a big hole on the right side.
So it's going to go down as a stolen base, no error. It's a pitch outside, 3-2 the count now for the catcher, James Teets.
I mean, look, if I'm Swan right now, I'm setting up right down the middle for a fastball. We have the eighth man in the lineup, a sub coming off the bench. The last thing, even with first base open, you don't want to lose this hitter, especially with 9-1-2 coming up.
And there goes a swing and miss there. Down goes Teets. 10th strikeout for Evan Shaw on the day.
I mean, look, excellent execution there from Shaw and Swan behind the plate. He did what he had to do. Swan set up right down the middle. Shaw had great life on his fastball that time, going down and away to the right-handed batter. And he got the swing through from just challenging the man coming off the bench. And now a good opportunity here with Jack Early. He struck him out twice. 9-man in the order. Go right after him again.
Swung on and missed, Jack Early. He struck out twice, one of them swinging, one of them looking. 0-1 is the count, 2 outs, with his brother Tom Early scoring position on second.
You got to go with another fastball here if you're Shaw. That pitch was practically in the glove of Swan by the time Early even swung at that one.
Here's the 0-1. Popped up into the air, fouled off, out of play, 0-2. Have some action in the power bullpen to our left. Believe that is Miles Rothfar warming up.
I think you're right. If I'm Shaw right here, though, I'm rearing back with my best fastball of the night, going up in the strike zone towards the middle of the plate. It's probably his last inning, too. Or a decent chance, at least. Hard to say. Especially 9th man in the lineup, you had 2 late swings in a row. Rear back with your best fastball.
0-2's the count with 2 outs. Shaw looking to retire the side, get strikeout number 11 possibly. Here's the 0-2. Down in the dirt, 1-2 the count. Swan able to corral it in front of him.
I'm not the biggest fan of that location right there. I know it can often be good to waste a pitch 0-2, but that's one of those that was never really in the strike zone. It didn't challenge the hitter to have to take that pitch. Still an opportunity right here, though, on a 1-2.
Popped up, fouled off. Dickinson going to watch it go out of play. Count still stands 1-2.
Well, that was an excellent fastball. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how fast that one was, but rode it right in onto the knuckles of Jack Early. Got a really late swing, just fortunate to stay alive. Once again, you wonder, do you try another fastball inside in his kitchen, or do you risk speeding up his bat with a breaking ball?
Here's a 1-2 from Shaw. And that's going to get Early looking. The third time he's struck out today, 3rd strikeout of the inning, going to retire the side. 11th strikeout for Evan Shaw. It's going to be Levi Hall, Tyler Swan, Isaiah Alvarez. The 3 due up next, bottom to the 7th inning. Power lead 3-2 when we return. Here we are set, bottom of the 7th inning. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Power lead 3-2 over the Yeti. Levi Hall batting in that 8th hole spot, the right fielder. Here's the pitch. Will be swung on and missed.
I mean, George, you talk about a pitcher's duel. The Power, their last hit came in the 1st inning with their 3-run outburst. The Yeti are currently being no-hit through 7 innings. And here we stand in a 1-run game.
0-2 the count for Hall.
I wonder if Shaw will go back out for the 7th. Rathfar, he was throwing earlier. He's not throwing in the bullpen now. Curious.
0-2 the count for Hall, leading off here, bottom of the 7th inning. That pitch there from Chase Martinez, down low, 1-2. As that's going to be fouled back. This count still stands 1-2. Teets behind the plate, replacing Fowler after he went off with a hand injury, it looked like.
And a lot of times you get a new catcher coming into the game, you almost want to test them right away, see how good their throwing arm is. Power just haven't really had chances to do it. There's not a lot of base runners. We went.
As Hall did go, not too happy with the call there. So that's going to go down as a strikeout there for Hall, which brings up the catcher Tyler Swan. He's 0 for 2 on the day. The bottom 3 of this order for the Power certainly struggled. The 7, 8, and 9 have only gotten on base once. That's because Levi Hall was walked. Tyler Swan at the plate, the catcher, struck out in the 2nd inning, flew out in the 4th. A pitch there from Martinez right down Main Street for strike 1.
Swan did not look too happy with that fastball right there. I mean, if I'm a Power, I almost think about trying to lay down a bunt. Schaefer is playing back over at third base. I don't think they're looking for it. Just anything to try and get a base runner.
Another pitch there right down the middle, 0-2 the count.
I mean, if you're Swan, you pretty much know what you're going to get.
Here's the 0-2. That's going to be down low, 1-2 the count. Right at the feet there of Tyler Swan. Here's a 1-2 from Martinez.
Close.
Check swing did not go. 2-2 the count. Good pullback there from Tyler Swan.
I think Teets thought he should have had a strike 3 called right there. It's just a little bit high. Not the biggest strike zone for Swan at the plate.
Isaiah Alvarez, he's on deck. 2-2 the count. 90-mile-per-hour fastball upstairs there from Chase Martinez. Here's a 2-2, 1 out, nobody on. That's going to be hit right in between the gap for a base hit. Swan, he's going to be safe over on first. So a base hit there from him. First hit of the game for Tyler Swan. First hit we've seen since the bottom of the 1st inning for the Palm Springs Power.
Hey, it's the first hit we've seen from anybody since the bottom of the 1st inning. That's with the Yeti going no hit. Good piece of hitting from Swan. He got fast on the out part of the plate. It looks like he almost just kind of threw his hands right at the ball, served it in the right field, and good hustle from him. I thought Lewis might have the right fielder might have a play over at first. Yeah, I know Swan's not really a base stealer, but you want to try and get into second as best you can.
As that's going to be a blooper up there. Everybody's going to be safe as
Wow.
Martinez going to hold on to it.
How about that?
So Alvarez, he's on base for the first time today. Swan owns scoring position on second. And it looks like now we're going to have a pitching change here for the Yeti as we await Joey Mazzetti.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. No signal yet. Wonder if part of this talks to see whether Martinez wants his bat. Yep. pat on the back to Chase Martinez. He's going to stay in the game.
Interesting move there to keep them in the ball game. They've had guys warming up in the bullpen and then just not utilizing them.
That reminds me of, I want to say it was the 03 ALCS. Saw Pedro Martinez and Greg Little. Greg Little just gave Martinez a pat on the bum and said, go finish it off. Martinez, of course, not able to do so against the mighty Yankees. See if the power can try and make the Yeti pay, leaving Martinez out there, at least for now.
So 1 out, 2 runners on for the power here in the bottom of the 7th inning as they're looking to add on to their lead, give them a little bit of insurance runs. This will be 1-0 count for Joey Mazzetti. He's gotten on base twice. Once off of a walk, he scored a run in the bottom of the 1st, and then a hit by pitch in the 5th inning. Then he struck out. So he's looking to get his first base hit. As that's going to get away there from Teets. 2-0 the count.
Well, I mean, a moment ago, of course, on the infield hit from Alvarez, we saw a break for the power, especially that ball. Could have been a double play ball just right off the glove of Martinez. That time, the Yeti got a break. Because that pitch was going to get away from James Teets, but hit right off the home plate umpire to keep it around home plate. I mean, if you're Mazzetti, I'm looking for picking one spot for a fastball and just trying to hammer it.
As that's going to be hit up over to center field for Mazzetti. That's going to drop for a base hit. Waving on home is Swan, and he's going to be safe there. Mazzetti going to go to second. The power score, and now they lead 4-2 in the ball game as Swan comes on in.
I mean, what a great piece of hitting from Joey Mazzetti right there. I said just a moment ago, if you get that 2-0 fastball in your sweet spot, then get ready to hammer it. He did just that, just nailing that ball out to center field, getting the Power's first run across the board since the 1st inning. I mean, look, Mazzetti struggled just a little bit the past 4 games, starting to come up with hits. Man, that was a big one right there with a big insurance run for the Power.
So conversation on the mound now.
Yeah, that's it for Martinez. I'm all for leaving him in for that extra hitter, especially in the Summer League game, but this time just ended up being 1 hitter too many.
So now the Power up 4-2. Pitching change going to happen now. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, it'll be Efren Manzo due up next for the Palm Springs Power. They're up 2 runs here bottom of the 7th inning. Evan Langer going to be on the mound for the San Diego Yeti here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So 2 runners on, both in scoring position. Joey Mazzetti on second, Isaiah Alvarez on third. Tyler Swan came in to score a run a moment ago, as the Power now up 4-2 with 1 out.
I mean, frankly, this is the big danger zone now for the Yeti. Of course, they got to play the infield all the way in.
That's going to be fouled back. Efren Manzo. He has a base hit in the bottom of the first inning, scored a run, flew out to Lewis in right field in the third. A fielder's choice got him on base in the 5th inning.
This is such a tough part of the lineup for anyone facing the Power. You have first base open, but then you don't want to deal with Berkey, who's been swinging a hot bat.
So 0-2 the count for Efren Manzo, the third baseman for the Palm Springs Power this evening.
I'd say you got to try and get something in play if you're Manzo. And Alvarez has got great speed on third. He should be going on contact.
Here's the 0-2. That's going to be up high, 1-2 the count. So with 1 out, Berkey on deck with 2 runners on, both in scoring position. The Power looking to add on to their lead that they already have here. 2-run lead in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-2. Check swing there. Got a piece of the bat. So it's fouled off. Count still stands 1-2.
I mean, we saw anywhere from 88 to 93 throughout the night from Chase Martinez. Evan Langer, he's come out throwing 89, 90. Another guy with a good arm. Also another righty with a similar over-the-top four-seam delivery. All fastballs so far.
Fouled off again. Manzo fighting at the plate. Still 1-2. Power lead 4-2 over the Yeti here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Looking to get on a little bit of win streak here to end the season off. They won on Wednesday against the Colton Nighthawks 5-2.
And frankly, the longer this at-bat goes, Manzo's already fouled off some tough pitches. It's been nothing but four-seam fastballs. Maybe you can time them up.
Going to be down low, 2-2 the count. Evan Berkey waiting on deck. Big lead over on second for Joey Mazzetti. Here's a 2-2. Another check swing again that's fouled off. So very long at bat here, Efren Manzo.
Manzo's really making Langer work. And still, nothing but fastballs. So frankly, if you're Manzo, just think if it's not good, just hit it foul, play pepper. Once he gets a good one, a base hit should score 2.
Here's a 2-2. As that's going to get Manzo on the check swing looking. The first strikeout for Evan Langer, which brings up Evan Berkey. Berkey had a double in the bottom of the first inning, scored a run, an RBI double that helped out the Power a lot in that bottom of the first inning where they scored 3 runs. Was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and struck out swinging in the 5th. Power up 4-2 here, bottom of the 7th inning. 2 runners in scoring position, Berkey trying to bring them home.
That was a big out right there for Langer, especially on his first breaking ball. Strikeout pitch came in at 83, whatever that ended up being. It fooled Manzo. I feel like the game's on the line right here, George, especially if you're the Yeti. You're already down 2 runs. You've been no hit through 7. You have 2 more runners in scoring position. A base hit will definitely score 2. A hit right here, scoring 2 runs, I think all but ends this game.
That's down in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Runners stay where they are. Teet's able to corral it in front of them.
And for what it's worth, George, nobody up in the Power bullpen. We saw Rothfarb get up once or twice. I mean, the way everyone was kind of high-fiving, it makes me almost kind of think Shaw's done, but I'd love to see him come back out for the 8th.
Here's a 1-1 upstairs, 2-1 to Evan Berkey, who has 1 hit on the day. There's an RBI double with Spencer Dickinson on deck with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Mazzetti, he's on second. Alvarez on third. Power up 4-2, bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch from Evan Langer. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 2. We're knotted up at 2-2. with 2 outs, 2 runners on.
That was easily Langer's best breaking ball of the night. I think we've seen, so that's 3 breaking balls we've seen from him so far. That one at 83. Just that one, a real sharp late break going down into the dirt. Takes a lot of trust with your catcher too, with a man over at third to just block those dirt balls.
Here's a 2-2. That's going to be fouled back. Count still stands. Another long at bat for Evan Langer, who just came out of the bullpen. Back-to-back long at bats for him.
And right now, it looks like Berkey's just a bit tardy on the fastball and early at the breaking ball. I'd say he needs to set off for a fastball right here and just try and do his best to foul off the breaking ball if he gets it.
Here's a 2-2 from Langer. That's going to be ripped right up over to Schaffer at third. The throw, it's not in time. As Mo bobbled it over on first. Alvarez going to come in to score. Power up 5-2 with runners on the corners. Mazzetti on third with Berkey on first brings up Spencer Dickinson.
Wow, what a break for the power right there. I mean, look, Berkey had a pretty good swing at that fastball. He hit it hard right to Schaefer over at third. He did a good job corralling it at first. He had time to get Berkey. He doesn't run all that well. He just spiked it on one hop, and Mew not able to come up with it at first.
So it's going to be an error on Schaffer on third. Pinch runner going to come in for the power as well for Evan Berkey. Power up 5-2 here, bottom of the 7th inning. Spencer Dickinson, 1 for 2 on the day. Had a base hit in the bottom of the first. Here's a pitch there from Langer outside, 1-0.
So that's officially the third error of the night for the Yeti. That's a costly one.
Robbie Lopez over on first, pinch running, excuse me.
Good hitters count right here for Dickinson. He's had a few good swings tonight, just missing a couple pitches. I want to see him really zone in on a fastball somewhere in the middle of the plate.
That's going to be breaking ball down low, 3-0 the count to Dickinson. He already walked once in the ball game.
Well, this is an easy green light for me. And right now, Langer, he's probably just going to try and throw a get-me-over fastball, almost batting practice caliber. Dickinson needs to be ready to hammer it.
Runners on the corners. Here's a 3-0. Going to
swing.
foul it off. 3-1 the count for Spencer Dickinson. Robbie Lopez on first after the error there from Schaffer. And then Mazzetti on third. So runners on the corners. As the Power looking to extend onto their lead that they have. They're up 3 runs over the Yeti here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's a 3-1. As that one was up and in. And Dickinson going to swing and miss. Count is now full for him.
Yeah, Dickinson needs to take a deep breath right here. He had a really good swing at the 3-0 pitch. Might have been a little high, but a good swing nonetheless. That pitch wasn't even close. It looked like he was in swing mode. See? So he needs to just refocus, get a good idea, try to stay alive, and just get on base.
As that's going to be ball number 4, puts bases loaded for Anthony Angel Jr. Lopez on second, Dickinson on first, Mazzetti on third. Anthony Angel Jr. 0 for 2 on the day, sacrifice fly, bottom of the first, 2 strikeouts.
Looks like it's Nathan Beckley's the pinch hitter.
Pinch hitting, number 12.
I'm not opposed to that by any means. Angel Jr. struck out his previous 2 at bats. Especially a righty-lefty matchup right here. And once again, a base hit could all but end this game, especially with the Yeti being no hit right now.
So 2 outs, bases loaded. There's the pitch there from Langer down low, 1-0. Some action in the bullpen for the Yeti to our right. Looks like that's Roca warming up.
Beckley, another one of several guys who got the call up.
As that's to be chopped up over on to short. And out number 3. Going to retire the side. Power, they're able to score 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're up 5-2. Evan Shaw returning to the mound. It's going to be Nick Roca, Ethan Cachetta, Taylor Moe. The 3 due up next. 1, 2, 3 for the San Diego Yeti. They're down 3 runs, top of the 8th when we return. Here we are set, top of the 8th inning, top of the order for the San Diego Yeti. Nick Roca going to be batting now, leading things off. Looking to get his first hit. He walked twice in the 1st and 3rd, flew out over to Levi Hall in right field. Here's a pitch from Shaw. That's going to get upstairs and in for strike 1.
Now, I was mentioning last inning, George, wasn't sure if they put Shaw back out there for the 8th inning, but I'm really glad to see it. Rothbarb, just tossing it in the bullpen just in case Shaw runs into trouble. I mean, look, he's 6 outs away from a no-hitter.
So that's going to be up to Manzo over on 3rd and over for out 1 to Dickinson. There's going to be a switch in the field. Nathan Beckley. He's going to be over at 2nd replacing Anthony Angel Jr.
Well, you know, we're down to 5 outs away from a no-hitter. Is it a bad thing to count down the outs? George just, no one can see back home. George just nodded his head. Yes, Evan, it's a bad thing to do it. Don't jinx him.
Ethan Cachetta, he's at the plate. Had a walk in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 1st, grounded out in the 5th. 1-0 the count to him. Here's a 1-0. Another high fastball upstairs, 2-0 the count. Taylor Moe, he's on deck. Shaw gets set. Here's the 2-0 kick. Just outside, 3-0.
I mean, if I'm Cachetta, it's an automatic take for me. Especially on a 3-0 count, you're down 3 runs, you need base runners. Don't give away an out here.
Here's a 3-0. That's going to get inside for strike 1. 3-1 hitters count for Cachetta, who's playing over at left field this evening for the San Diego Yeti. 1 out, nobody on. Here's a pitch. That's going to be ball number 4 for the 2nd time today. Cachetta going to get a free base. Which brings up Taylor Moe, the first baseman. He's 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. 11 strikeouts on the day for Evan Shaw.
That was his 116th pitch, George. Ooh.
And that's going to get Taylor Moe in the right elbow there. First hit by pitch there for Evan Shaw on the day. So Casey Dill going to come out to talk to him.
Hard to say if that'll be it. There's no signal to the bullpen yet. He is up to 117 pitches. It's also not like he's in the 9th inning either. And for what it's worth now, the tying run is coming up to the plate too for the Yeti. Tough decision for any manager.
So it's going to be Elijah Lewis stepping in the batter's box in just a moment after this mound meeting with Casey Dill and the infield for the Palm Springs Power.
And you saw Chris Moody meet in the 7th inning with his starter Martinez. Left him in for one more hitter. That was Mazzetti, who had an RBI single to make it a 4-2 ball game. Casey Dill is going to leave him in there. Makes the fans happy.
So with 1 out, 2 runners on. Elijah Lewis, he's at the plate for the 4th time today, 0 for 3. 2 flyouts and a strikeout for him. Here's a pitch from Shaw. That's going to get inside for strike 1.
Well, that tells me that Shaw is really, really confident right now. When the manager comes down in a situation like this to go talk to your pitcher, he wants your starter to tell him that he wants to stay in the game. So Shaw definitely told him, I want this game right now.
That's going to be fouled off, 0-2 the count.
And frankly, that you can't measure that in any kind of counting numbers or velocity or any other analytics things, as much as we love the analytics guys, and they know this too, of course. But you want guys like that in your clubhouse, in your bullpen, every 5th day, all the time.
Here's the 0-2. And there goes Lewis down swinging.
Awesome.
12th strikeout for Evan Shaw on the day.
Boy, that's got to make you feel really good as a manager if you're Casey Dill. Especially after walking him in and hitting a batter twice in a row. You come back with a big strikeout, the big meeting on the mound. I mean, he's 4 outs away from a no-hitter. I mean, there's no doubt he wants this game right now.
Noah Lane, he's at the plate. He struck out once. 8 out of the 9 batters for the San Diego Yeti have struck out at least once to Evan Shaw. 1-0 the count to Lane, the center fielder. Here's a pitch from Shaw. That's going to be cracked up, and that's going to get through for a base hit. 1 run's going to come in to score. That's Cachetta. So Cachetta comes in to score. Moe is out at 3rd. And that's going to retire the side. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, the no-hitter broken up from Noah Lane. Power still had the 5-3 lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm a Viska Hall Swan. The 3 due up next when we return. Bottom of the 8th inning, Richie Amaviska leading things off for the Palm Springs Power. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Power up 5-3 over the San Diego Yeti. Followed by Levi Hall, Tyler Swan. It's going to be the 7, 8, 9 for the Palm Springs Power. Langer, here's the pitch. That's going to be up high, 1-0 the count, Amaviska. He grounded out twice to Roca at short, and then a ground out over to Martinez on the hill. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be down low, 2-0. Good eye there from Amaviska.
It'd be really nice if the Power could get 1 or 2 insurance runs right here. Especially with the way the Yeti threatened in the previous frame. Two runs, not the safest thing in the world at the moment.
Here's a 3-0. That's going to get right down Main Street for strike 1.
Looked like Amaviska was taking all the way right there. Can't say I blame him.
Amaviska up in the count, 3-1. Bottom of the order here for the Palm Springs Power. That's going to be ball number 4. Amaviska getting on base for the first time today. As he's walked there, brings up Levi Hall. Hall looking to get his first hit of the day, 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out recently in the bottom of the 7th inning. With runner on, no outs. Power up 2 runs here against the San Diego Yeti. So looking to get win number 2 in a row.
I'd like to see Hall lay a bunt down right here. If the runner over, well, looks like he's not going to bunt. But I like the idea of getting the runner over, especially that big insurance run. You have the top of the order coming up pretty soon. Try and get him across the plate any way you can for a big insurance.
So foul tip there, 0-1 the count. Langer gets set awaiting here. Long stare down. That's going to be top corner of the strike zone, 0-2. So Levi Hall, the lefty at the plate, going up against the righty, Evan Langer.
I mean, whether it's this pitch or sometime in the next batter, I'd like to see Amaviska take off. He's got a good lead right there. Oh my goodness.
Very close. I did not get Levi Hall. So it's going to be 1-2 the count for the right fielder with Amaviska on first, no outs. Tyler Swan on deck.
That was almost a disaster for Langer. The worst thing you can do as a pitcher is hit a guy on an 0-2 pitch.
Here's a 1-2. That's going to be down and away. 2-2 the count.
I mean, whatever Langer's best pitch is, I expect to see it right here on the 2-2 count. I doubt he wants to go 3-2, especially on someone in the bottom of the order.
Here's a 2-2. That's going to be foul tipped. And caught there by Teets. Late call from the home plate umpire with 1 out.
Looks like Tyler Swan's due up.
So Tyler Swan, he's going to be batting the 9-hole hitter. He's 1 for 3 on the day. A strikeout and a fly out and a base hit, and scored a run in the 7th inning. As Amaviska safe over on first. So Amaviska, a 3-stride lead over on first with 1 out. Here's a pitch from Swan upstairs. 1-0 the count. So he scored a run there in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 of 2 runs for the Power in the inning to help put him up 5-3 over the Yeti. Here we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 out. As we swung on and missed, the throw back over not in time as Amaviska safe there, so count is 1-1 with 1 out.
Man, those two insurance runs really loom large right now, George, especially with the Yeti able to get their first hit and put a run up on the board in the top of the 8th.
So Isaiah Alvarez on deck with 1 out. Langer gets set, looks up and down twice. Here's a 1-1. That's way upstairs. Chin music there. 2-1 the count for Tyler Swan, who had to lean out of that pitch.
Frankly, I like this mound visit here from Teets. Trying to just settle down Langer. Has been fighting his command a little bit. I know, of course, he struck out Levi Hall, but a little bit all over the place this inning. You still have the 9th man in the order up, Tyler Swan. Last thing you want to do is lose him, especially with Alvarez, Mazzetti, and Manzo looming.
Swan recorded a base hit in the run the last inning. Here's a 2-1. That's going to be inside. 2-2 the count. Good breaking ball there from Evan Langer. Here's a 2-2. That's going to be outside as Teets had to extend across his body. Count is now full. With Alvarez on deck.
Pretty good lead out there from Amaviska. I usually like sending a runner on a full count 1 out. This time I wouldn't, though.
Here's a 3-2. Foul tip, count still stands. Fastball there from Langer as Isaiah Alvarez waiting in the on-deck circle with 1 out, 1 runner on here, bottom of the 8th inning. Power have a 2-run lead over the Yeti. So looking to hold on to that lead, even build onto it here. Rothfar warming up in the bullpen for the Power. Here's a 3-2. That's going to be fouled back over the right field concourse. Still 3-2. We've seen several long bats here from the Power ever since Langer came onto the mound in the bottom of the 7th inning, as they've been fighting at the plate.
And Swan's put a really good bat right now. A couple of good-looking swings those previous 2 foul balls.
3-2. That's going to be ball number 4.
Great at bat.
So 2 walks in the inning for Evan Langer as Isaiah Alvarez steps in the batter's box. However, we're going to have a mound visit here for the Yeti.
Now batting, center fielder number 5, Isaiah Alvarez.
I don't know what Moody's going to do right here. Yep, all right, we do have a pitching change coming up.
So as we have the pitching change here, Isaiah Alvarez will be the first batter. Bottom of the 8th inning. Power up 5-3. We're going to take a quick break. We'll announce a pitching change when we come back. Here we are back, bottom of the 8th inning. Isaiah Alvarez, top of the order here with 1 out, 2 runners on. Amaviska on second, Tyler Swan on first. Both those batters were walked. So it's going to be Andrew Shervanian, new pitcher on the mound, the lefty for the Yeti. His first pitch inside for a strike to Isaiah Alvarez, the center fielder for the Palm Springs Power. Alvarez, 1 for 4 on the day, had a base hit in the 7th inning, scored a run there as well. As a Power up 5-3 here in the ball game. Shervanian looks back over on second. Here's the pitch. Going to be inside, 1-1 the count.
Frankly, Evan Langer put the Yeti in a really difficult position right here. Walking the 7-man and the 9-man in the order. I know obviously they were really good at bats, but the result's the result. And now this dangerous top of the order coming up for the Power. Potential for a huge inning.
Going to be outside, 2-1 the count to Alvarez. With Joey Mazzetti on deck with 1 out, 2 runners on. Shervanian looking back over on second. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be top of the strike zone, 2-2 the count. That's going to be fouled back. Count still knotted up at 2. Rothbard warming up still in the bullpen for the Power.
You gotta give a lot of credit to the Powers. I know you've said it once or twice, George, but a lot of long at-bats and a lot of fouling pitches off with 2 strikes, and in several of these at-bats, the power hitters have ended up winning the battle, whether it's with a base hit or drawing a walk.
Here's a 2-2. As fouled back again, both runners were going to advance. However, they have to go back over to their bases.
Man, Amaviska got a huge jump over at second base. If that pitch weren't a foul, he probably could have just walked the rest of the way to third. That's how big of a jump he had off of Shervanian. Amaviska looking for his first stolen base. That surprises me. He's got good speed out there.
Count 2-2. 1 out. With Swan on first, Amaviska on second. Alvarez going to bloop that one up over in the shallow right field. As they're going to hold Amaviska up at third. Bases loaded. Joey Mazzetti going to be approaching the batter's box in just a moment. Back-to-back base hits for Isaiah Alvarez. Brings up Joey Mazzetti.
And once again, Alvarez able to stay alive after falling behind with 2 strikes in the count. He didn't hit that ball hard by any means, but he got just good enough wood on it. He sprayed it out to right field. Good things happen when you put the ball in play, when you stay alive, and you drive the pitcher's pitch count up. And now a chance to get at least 1 more insurance run now with Mazzetti at the plate, if not more.
So Mazzetti, the team leader in RBIs with bases loaded, 1 out, had a base hit in the 7th inning. The pitch, that's going to be breaking ball swung on and missed. So Mazzetti was walked in the first, scored a run, struck out in the 3rd, hit by a pitch in the 5th, had a base hit in the 7th. Here he is at the plate again, 0-1 the count with 1 out, bases loaded for the Palm Springs Power. They're up 5-3 over the San Diego Yeti. Here's the 0-1. And it's going to get inside, 0-2 the count to Mazzetti. He's down in the count with Efren Manzo on deck. Here's the 0-2. And that's going to hit him.
Wow. What
Second time Joey Mazzetti's been hit by a pitch today. That's going to bring in Amaviska to score. moves Tyler Swan over to third. Alvarez on second. Power now up 6-3.
I can't believe Shervanian hit him right there. I mean, I'm all for trying to pitch inside. It's the second time in this game we've seen Yeti pitchers hit a man on an 0-2 pitch, and it's put men in scoring position. That one's big right there, of course. It forces in a run. You gotta be better than that. That just can't happen.
1 out, bases loaded. The pitch from Shervanian popped up into the air, fouled off 0-1 to Efren Manzo. He has 1 hit in the game. That's a base hit in the bottom of the first. Scored a run there. Flew out to Lewis in right field. Had a fielder's choice. Struck out looking in the second. That's the day for the third baseman. Here's the 0-1. As we down in the dirt. So here's a 1-1 count now for Efren Manzo. Robbie Lopez on deck for the power. Here's a 1-1. That's going to get bottom of the strike zone. 1-2 the count. So Robbie Lopez was pinch running, for Evan Berkey in the bottom of the 7th inning. So now he's going to be pinch hitting for him as well. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be fouled back to the net. Count is still 1-2 for Manzo.
George, I was getting my hands ready right there. Well, granted, now I'm going to sound embarrassed saying this. If that were 20 feet higher, it was lined up perfectly with me. See, that does sound ridiculous now that I say it out loud.
Here's the 1-2. And there goes Manzo down swinging. Second time he struck out today. That brings up the pinch hitter, Robbie Lopez.
George, I'm still looking for redemption after I dropped that foul ball a couple weeks back. I need one more chance. We're running out of innings.
And running out of games left too. As the Power play their last game against the Inland Empire Bucks tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Lopez going to swing and miss, 0-1 to him.
I assume Rothbard's going to come on and pitch the 9th inning for Shaw, up over 120 pitches now. He's back up getting loose once again.
1-1 the count to Robbie Lopez. Lopez, the lefty, up against Shervanian, the lefty as well. Here's a 1-1. Top of the strike zone. That's going to miss 2-1.
And I assume Lopez, he's got to be seeing a fastball right here. Shervanian's been struggling with his breaking ball command just a little bit. You're facing a guy coming off of the bench. So practically like you're in the bottom of the order. Don't want to walk another guy in.
That's going to be outside and down low, 3-1 for Lopez. Spencer Dickinson, he's on deck with 2 outs, bases loaded.
I mean, if you're Robbie Lopez, I'm looking for a fastball right down the middle. If I were a pitcher right now or a catcher, that's where I'd be setting up, frankly. Just throw your best fastball and say, hey, here it is, hit it.
Shervanian gets set. Here's a 3-1 kick. That's ball 4. So coming in on to score, that's going to be Tyler Swan. Isaiah Alvarez advancing over to third. Joey Mazzetti on first. That's the third batter that has been walked here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Power now leads 7-3 over the Yeti.
Not even to mention Mazzetti getting hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count with the bases loaded. I know it sounds like a broken record, but it doesn't matter how good your stuff is overall. If you can't locate, and especially if you're walking guys and hitting guys and forcing runs in, like you're not gonna be able to pitch in big games and big spots.
Dickinson gonna swing and miss. 0-1 the count to him. He's walked twice, had a base hit, flew out over in the left field in his last at bat. 0-1 is the count. Here's a pitch. That's going to get inside 0-2. So 2 outs, bases loaded for the Power. They're up 7-3. Scored 2 runs so far this inning. Amaviska and Swan come in the score. Here's 0-2. That's going to be fouled off. Dickinson staying alive. So it's going to be Alvarez over on third, Mazzetti on second, Lopez on first. Those are the base runners for the Power. Here's the 0-2 from Shervanen. That's going to be down low, 1-2 the count.
And look, Shervanen's been getting ahead of plenty of these hitters since he came into the game, but it's like once he has 2 strikes, he's starting to get cute. Once you get cute with your pitches, then you start to let the hitter back into the count, then maybe he'll foul a few pitches off, then he'll feel confident again.
Right outside the strike zone, 2-2 the count.
It goes to show with any young pitcher, if you get ahead with your fastball, it does not automatically mean you have to go with your other pitches. Sometimes the simple way is the best way.
Here's a 2-2. Hard hit ball. Dickinson gonna hit that one over in the left field by the batter's caging over there.
He might have hit that ball over the batting cages. That was a shot. It's a few really good swings we've seen from Dickinson. He's come really close to really driving a ball tonight. He's just missed a couple, a little out in front on that one. See if he can maybe line one of these up and really get into it. Now, George would love to call a grand slam right about now.
Shervanian gets set. Here's a 2-2. That's going to be way inside, down at the feet of Dickinson. Full count now for him. With 2 outs, bases loaded. With Nathan Beckley on deck. Here's a 3-2. Hard hit ball popped up high into the air, shallow left field. Cachetta gets underneath that one for out number 3. So that's going to retire the side, leaving bases loaded. However, Power able to score 2 runs as they're up 7-3. We head to the top of the 9th inning. It's going to be Schaffer, Early, and Teets, the 3 due up next when we return. Here we are set for the top of the 9th inning. Palm Springs Power leads 7-3 over the San Diego Yeti. Juan Queja going to be now batting in replace for J.D. Schaffer. As that's going to be swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Miles Rothfarb going to be on the mound to close things out for the Power here in the top of the 9th inning. Don Mota is warming up in the bullpen as that's going to get away from Swan.
I mean, look, once again, Evan Shaw, we've said several times this season, absolutely outstanding. You could argue the best outing from any power pitcher all season. It's not even just that he went 8 innings and struck out 12 and he allowed only 1 hit and took a no-hitter into the 8th inning with 2 outs. But I just really love how much he wanted to be in that game, George, especially telling Casey Dill coming out to the mound, leave me in, I want it. And he allowed the 1 run, of course, but finished off the 8th inning.
As my pitch from Rothfarb going to get Queja looking. The first strikeout of the day, 13th strikeout for Power pitching. Which brings up Luke Rohan. He's going to be pinch hitting for Tom Early. So with 1 out, Rowan at the plate. Here's a pitch from Rothfarb, swung on and missed.
Looks like now's about the time for the Yeti. They're emptying their bench essentially of another pinch hitter, James. Well, never mind. James Teets came on to replace Fowler during the game. Pardon my French.
So Power up 7-3 over the Yeti here. Top of the 9th inning. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser. 2-1 is the count to Luke Rohan. James Teets on deck as that's going to be strike 2 as Rowan swung on and missed on that one. Here's a 2-2 from Rothfarb. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Miles Rothfarb, which brings up James Teets. He struck out in his only plate appearance.
I mean, look, George, I know at times it was ugly, and at times that Power struggled to get it going a little bit, but talk about really just battling tonight, keeping the foot on the gas pedal, even though it went a long time without being able to score or even put a hit up on the board. And a lot of it just came down to a lot of these really tough at-bats, these deep counts, just staying alive, driving the pitch count up of Chase Martinez, and then ultimately, once the Power got into the Yeti bullpen, that was basically it.
1-1 is a count to Teets. Here's a pitch. That's going to be chopped up. That's going to get through for a base hit. Second hit of the game for the Yeti comes with 2 outs. And Nick Rowan going to be stepping in the batter's box now for the Yeti, as they're down to their final out here in the ball game. Power up 7-3, looking to advance 19-3 on the season.
And look, the record says it all. They're just a tough team to beat. You have to do just about everything right nearly to a T in order to win.
And that's going to get by Swan, as Teets advancing over to second now puts him in scoring position with 2 outs. Nick Rowan at the plate for the first time today, pinch hitting for Jack Early with a hat trick of 3 strikeouts. Here's a pitch from Rothfarb. That's going to be hit up over to the right field and fouled off. So 0-1 the count.
I mean, George, you can definitely say the Yeti battle, but ultimately 3 errors. Their pitching issued 7 walks, 3 hit batters, especially saw a couple of them forcing in runs. in the bottom of the 8th inning. You're not going to beat the Power if you're doing that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter how well you do some of the other parts of the game. And frankly, you're not going to beat good teams either way doing that, especially during the regular seasons in college.
0-1 is the count. Rothfarb kicks and deals. That's going to be down low, 1-1. Rothfarb looks back at second. Here's a pitch. That's going to be down in the dirt. 3-1 is the count. Two outs. Here's a pitch. That's ball 4, as that's going to get by. However, Teet's going to be held up over at third. So after 2 strikeouts to start off the inning, a base hit and a walk, puts runners on the corners now. Top of the order with Nick Roca.
Yeah, you know, the initial single, it wasn't all that hard, no big deal. You don't really want to see that walk right there. Now this is officially turned into a save situation with the tying run on deck. I would have much rather seen just a fastball right down the middle, and frankly, the worst you can do right there is make it a 2-run game. I like the idea right there, though, at least. First pitch fastball, attacking Roca right there. Even now, the worst he can possibly do is only make it a 1-run game.
Roca walked twice, had a fly out and a ground out, as that's going to be out and away, 1-1 the count. 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Yeti. Power looking to close things out and advance to 19-3 on the season. As they're up 7-3 against the Yeti. Here's a pitch from Rothfarb. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. Hard fastball there. 1-2 the count. Crowd getting into it here. Rothfarb. Here's a 1-2. That's going to get away from Swan. As Nick Rohan, going to advance up over to second. So 2-2 count for Nick Roca.
I think that'll go down as a stolen base officially. He was running on the pitch. Trying to give a hint to our analytics guys down there. This is a big pitch right here, especially with the tying run on deck.
Here's a 2-2. That's going to be chopped up into the glove of Rothfarb. He's going to bobble it and toss it up over to Dickinson for out number 3. And that's going to be the ball game. Power, they advance to 19-3 on the season with a 7-3 victory over the San Diego Yeti. They only allowed 2 hits here in the ball game. The Power, they had 7 hits. Very productive day as they go back-to-back wins. And tomorrow night, the last game of the season to the Inland Empire Bucks. And they look to complete the season with a 3-game win streak. And Evan, it was certainly a great game for the Power.
I mean, my goodness, they took advantage of some mistakes, sure. They came up some big hits when needed the most. I'm thinking of Mazzetti especially in the 7th inning to make it a 4-2 ball game. You know, Shaw was just unbelievable. He was electric through 8 innings outside just a handful of walks and the 1 error behind them. Just can't say enough about him. And I really can't say enough about Casey Dill. He's an aggressive manager. He left Evan Shaw in when he was in the jam in the 8th inning, and Shaw able to get through all 8. I mean, can't say enough about it. Great managing, great starting pitching, gave him a chance to win. They did just that.
14 total strikeouts on the day for Power pitching, 12 from Evan Shaw, 2 came from Miles Rothfarb. Power gets a 7-3 victory. We'll see you tomorrow night for the final game of the Palm Springs Power Stadium. George